In November 2009, a group of approximately 20 Cork men came together on a mission. And the mission was to travel to the town of Kioma in Zambia, and in the space of 3 weeks build a 2-roomed school unit for the orphans who were in the care of Irish nun Sister Molly Maloney.
The orphanage here, we have 142 children. They come from Kioma, Lukulu, Mungo, all around the Western Province. From any place where they bring a child who is in need, we will take it. Our first aim always is to help the child in their own home, because we know no matter how poor the home is, that the home is the best place for the child. So that is our first aim, to try and help the grandparents to care for the child at home.
The group was headed by 2 Cork County hurlers, Donlow Cusick and Kevin Hartnett, who had both previously travelled to Zambia to work as volunteers with Alan Kerins African projects. It was through this work that the 2 men had met with Sister Molly and had become inspired by her work with the orphans in her care, many of whom lost their parents to the ravages of AIDS and malaria.
Myself and Dawn were out here last year, 2008. So what we said was, at the end of the trip, I suppose we enjoyed it so much, and we thought that we'd come back in a year's time and try and get at least 20 guys, if not more, from Cork this time, to come back and we'd try and build a school.
A school is important because, as well as providing valuable skills and learning, it also offers these children a chance to have a childhood. As it stands, Sister Molly's orphans don't have enough classrooms to provide the level of education they'd wish to have. In order to build an extra school unit in 3 weeks, these volunteers from Cork split up into 2 groups, and the first group arrived on the first week of November 2009 and immediately set about building from the foundation up. By the time their 10-day stay was over, the school structure was completed up as far as roof level. And then on the 14th of November, the second group arrived, and they too were immediately inspired and determined to see the job completed.
When we left Ireland in the cold, and all of a sudden here we are in about 40 degrees of heat, thinking, you know, this is going to be a holiday. It soon came home to roost when we landed at the base with where Sister Molly has the young kids in, and it was so humbling, you know, to see those children with absolutely nothing. So we decided then as a group that for the 7 days that we were going to be here, we were going to do everything in our power to give, you know, 110% and walk away and say, look, we gave everything.
For the next 7 days, this group, like the group before them, set about completing the task at hand, rising at 5 in the morning to be at work at 6 and spend a long 12-hour day making the project come true.
We had a lot of meetings during the year, and we had plans and stuff, but we didn't know what to expect because we didn't know whether we had the right gear. Even a couple of days before we came out, a couple of the essential things that we needed, like the roof trusses and stuff, we weren't exactly sure whether they were here, whether they're the right length, but did they need to be welded, could we get a welding plant? So there was numerous factors in the thing that we were worried about coming over. This is the second week.
Only but Joe we came home last week.
Joe O'Brien's crew were out the first week doing the blocks. Massey reckons we'll be home Wednesday only for him.
It was tough going, I suppose, if you look at it now, like, and look at it maybe 20 days ago. There was nothing here, you know. So, like, in fairness to the lads, everyone has put their shoulder to the wheel and got there, you know.
Lots of us came out here with different trades, but roped in and did everything that was asked of us, even though we had no experience whatsoever. I think when we go home, we're going to be multi-skilled individuals.
I don't particularly think that I need a clap in the back for doing, you know, okay, it's been work and it's been 12 and 14 hour days. But I think the bunch of guys that we came out with as well, you know, we all have one common aim, and that's to make sure that when we leave here, there's a school standing. None of us want to leave here without it finished.
Next.
I find it very humbling to be out here helping people who are so less off than ourselves, you know. It's just so rewarding to be here and to give just a little of our time.
You beautiful baby, say hello.
All of the kids that Molly has, you know, they're either orphans or seriously underprivileged, And Molly is the person on the ground here, and she's identified and she's told us that the way she sees forward for these people and the way to give these people hope is through education and through sport. And you know, she said to us basically the best thing that we could do is build a school, and something that would last for a long time. And maybe there mightn't be great benefits out of it today or tomorrow, but even if there's one of those kids that comes out and, you know, makes a better life for themselves that they wouldn't have if that school didn't exist, then this project is going to be worthwhile.
If you can kind of get education up and running, if you can get the kids into school, if you can keep them in school, if you can get them interested in learning, you never know. If you get some of them into going to high school, they go on to college, you know, they might go abroad and get jobs, they might come back here and get jobs, but hopefully within 5 years, within 10 years, you might see people coming back with you know, educated people, and they can start businesses, you know, and they can look at problems a different way and try and solve the problems here themselves, rather than, you know, foreigners coming in trying to do everything for them.
It's no big effort from our side. Yeah, maybe the alarm clock went off that morning at 5 and it was a tough enough day at work, but when you come back and see the happiness in those kids' faces and the joy and, you know, the way they appreciate so much what you're doing, then it's, you know, it's only a very small thing that we've done.
What's your name?
These kids are like Annie the world over, and just want fun and loving care in a safe environment.
And she lovely smile.
And it's not before long that these big, strong Cork men fall under the charm of the orphans they have come to help.
It does make it worthwhile when you see their faces and stuff, and we're coming back from the school above, and they're unbelievable characters, every one of them, unreal.
You wasted it. When we come in at night, it's like Santa has arrived. They just run out the gate and put their arms up and just want to be lifted up, and the interaction with the kids is something I didn't know what to expect really, but I didn't expect that. I thought maybe they were in the orphanage and we were doing our thing and there wouldn't be any interaction. Didi, posa. Laha. Oh, good catch. The kids here are the happiest kids I've ever seen in my life, despite all their obvious problems. Never seen them fighting, never heard them crying. They're just happy and healthy. Thanks be to God. Didi! Wait, oh, I'm sorry. You wouldn't even get attached to them, like, and they see that there's something coming back from you, and when they run off the bus, they run to you, which is brilliant. Yes, Didi? What have you? What's that, Didi? What's that? Yes?
It's a balloon.
What is it?
A balloon.
A balloon. Good boy. And what's this?
It's a ball.
A ball. Good man.
It's a bit of an adventure as well, I suppose, and you'd want to have maybe that in you, that you're going out to Africa, and I suppose it's like, what's real Africa, but I suppose it is, I mean, it's 400 kilometres west of the capital, and there's one road. It's very hard to get even basic items there. So you're out in the wilderness, like, you're out as far as you can go probably. But once we're here then, and once you see that you're making a difference, then it's great. And, you know, you would come back then for the kids, you'd make friends maybe with a couple of the kids, and you'd want to see them, and, you know, you'd want to make sure they're doing all right and they're going to school, and, you know, things like that.
Hello. What's your name? Paddy. Are you Paddy? Oh, birdie. Bird? Look at this.
It really is a lifesaver for us, for the children. You all know that the education is the only way we can combat the problems in our country. All the orphans, unless they are, and vulnerable children, unless they're educated, they will still be street children. So by giving us these buildings, you are really saving lives. You don't know how many children you have saved from the gutter by giving us those classrooms. And I really, really thank you. And I wish you, even though you're all Cork people, I wish you the best of luck in your sports.
I know that Ellen is very proud of what we've